to the Tri-State Traffic Show. Donnie D here in the traffic center. It's a little after 7 a.m. here on this inaugural broadcast of the Tri-State Traffic Show here on this Monday, May the 9th. Hopefully everyone had a terrific weekend. And let's give you kind of a rundown of what we're going to do here. We're going to just kind of go through all the traffic and transit incidents throughout the entire tri-state area. So the format, the way we're going to start it off is going to start off in New Jersey from like 00 to 05, and then 05 to 010 will be the city in Long Island, and then from 10 to 15 will be Connecticut and the Hudson Valley. At 15, we're going to throw in a little bit of weather, and then at 7:30 we'll do our sponsors. We have the Cranford Vanilla Bean Creamery on board here for this beginning broadcast, the debut. So they are our first sponsor, and we thank Ralph over in Cranford for the great support he's given the Tri-State Traffic Show. Now, if you are watching us, you can certainly comment on YouTube as well as onto Twitter. Go ahead and leave a comment. Tell me where you're watching us from, where you're headed to, what's your morning commute looking like. And again, please do things safely. I know there's unfortunately a lot of people that use their mobile devices in the car. Again, be really, really careful. Make sure you pulled over and safely stopped if you're going to report any kind of a traffic incident. And again, if you happen to get any kind of video, certainly send it along, tristatetrafficshow@gmail.com. We'll try to get that into the broadcast as well. So we're going to kind of just go through some of the incidents here that are working. But the first incident we're going to do, and again, this is kind of just a little bit of a work in progress. I know some of our friends saw the live tests last week and the week before, so kind of worked out things. Got the cars back, got a nice new backdrop and so forth. So let's just put up our banner here on the bottom. So we'll get that up and running. Let me just bring up the banner. There we go. Got that on the bottom as well. And then we're going to bring up our overlay here this morning. And there we go. So we are live now. We've got one viewer. Let me put the comments up here. So again, if you're watching us on YouTube as well as Twitter, go ahead and throw up a comment here and let me know where you're watching. Now, from time to time, what we will do is kind of break that format for breaking traffic news. And the issues are for our friends out on Long Island. We've got an issue with the Southern State Parkway. It's going to be completely shut down here this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. Let me just make sure I go full screen with that. Let me put up my share screen here. Pardon me for the just a little logistical work on StreamYard, and we thank our partners over at StreamYard. There we go. Got things up and running now. This is it here. We'll click on the incident list this morning, and we're going to go over towards New York. This is the first thing here is, well, this is something new. It's a misplaced tractor trailer, but it is going to be here on the Southern State Parkway, westbound at Central Avenue in Hempstead. So that's a problem for the morning rush hour. Everyone trying to get off of the island, trying to get themselves back over towards the Cross Island Parkway. Let me see if my friends here on NY 511, if they've got the cameras here. I believe they do. You just got to find the Long Island area. There we go. And, yep, they've got the cameras here. This used to be my good friends over at Inform. And they went ahead and kind of rebranded things with 511. So kind of integrated everything in there. And little inside baseball language for you there. But nonetheless, there are some where traffic geeks like myself will like that stuff. So there it is. This is between 12 and 13. Now, again, if you are familiar with Long Island, this is that section of the Southern State that long time ago, they used to actually have a toll there. I think my good friend Jeff Jensen, who lives in the island, said it was a 10-cent toll. But the toll plazas are gone. That's why the section of the Southern State is 4 lanes instead of 3. Nonetheless, again, more inside baseball language. But that's what you get here on the Tri-State Traffic Show. That's all we do is talk traffic for the morning rush hour. So here it is. This is going to be shut down. It's an accident investigation. Hearing that it was, well, let's see if the video works. So hearing that it's been since about 5 o'clock this morning that this has been shut down. Unfortunately, you know, some of these folks here have been sitting for well over 2+ hours. So again, this is what we're going to do, friends, is that if there is a big major closure of a roadway, we're going to kind of, you know, flush the format, as they say in radio. We're going to break that format, and we're going to show you what the braking traffic situation is. So again, this is in the Hempstead area, westbound on the southern by exit 13. Again, this is closer towards the Cross Island. That will be traffic that comes around this corner and then makes its way into the interchange with the Cross Island Parkway. So let's come off of this camera here and let's see if we can find one of the other cameras that are further back. Let's see how far back this delay gets. I would say it's probably towards about Hempstead Avenue and Eagle Avenue. Well, that camera is really not the greatest. So again, this is what we're going to find. Sometimes these cameras, they just, this is just the nature of the business here. So this is by Corona Avenue and 15. And you can see that there's just nobody going anywhere at this point. So just a multi-mile mess on that westbound side of the southern. And I would have to say it probably goes back closer towards 17, and that's westbound that's going to be moving away. But again, that's the big problem here this morning with the closure of the westbound side of the Southern State Parkway. Now, there are a few options that folks can take, and you can starting to see some of that alternate volume here on Sunrise Highway. And then what that's going to do is going to kind of dump you off onto that service road. That's North Conduit Avenue as you come in towards the Jamaica section of Queens. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, that's westbound that heads away here by the Green Acres Mall. So that's really not moving anytime very, very fast at all. Fortunately, that's really for the most part about it, unless you take local roads here getting through Valley Stream. But there's really, you could come over here and it's going to connect you. Merrick Road going to connect you out into the Laurelton Parkway. That's technically what this is called here, this section of the belt. But that could be a little bit of a tough ride. Local streets, we have schools in session and so forth. So anytime you find a major closure on a major highway, that is going to be the situation. Getting up onto some of the local streets here, you'll see a lot of extra traffic as well. So again, the Southern State Parkway, that's our breaking traffic news, still shut down at exit 13 just before the Cross Island. Again, you can come up here towards Hempstead Turnpike, or you can even make your way further up towards Jericho Turnpike. But again, for our friends here in the South Shore, that's a bit of a hike in order to get yourself all the way up there. And quickly, while we're on the island, we'll check out the scene here on the LIE. It looks in fairly decent shape. We still have some northern state traffic here coming up in towards 106 and 107. But again, kind of normal stuff for the morning rush hour. Let's check out the ride there. That's South Oyster Bay Road. It's always a tough spot no matter what. Seems like what time of the day it is, and then kind of coming around the curve here, Williston Park on up towards where it kind of parallels the LIE there. Still a little bit slow all the way on to the Grand Central Parkway. So now what we're going to do is let's go back towards our format here this morning, and it is going to be just a little bit after about 7:06 as I turn around, and my brother's going to yell at me at 7:08 that I have to get a clock here, and I just didn't get a chance to put the clock in the system. Let's go back here towards New Jersey and kind of go back to the format here this morning. We're actually almost 8 after, so we're going to go 10. So let's just stay with the city for now, and we'll get back towards New Jersey on the next pass here. Kind of just let's see if we can stick to that format if we can. So we'll come on over towards our Google Maps, and we'll check out the scene here this morning. Let's head on over towards the city, shall we? And let's see what we got going on. Very early this morning, we had some problems on the Belt Parkway, and there's Alexandra. Thank you very much. She's watching us in East Rutherford. So you are our first comment on the official show. Alexandra, a big supporter. Thank you very much. And she is on her way is one of my work from home days. So she's actually working from home. So, and again, that also has helped out traffic in certain areas with the work from home. So let's take a look at the city, shall we? Now we're getting word of another problem on the belt. This is going to be over by about Rockaway Parkway. Very early this morning, it was shut down here out towards Flatbush Avenue, but looks like that had reopened. So that's some good news. But the problem is, as you can see, look at this. It builds itself all the way back towards the airport and the Van Wyck Expressway. So again, just that's kind of a bit of the normal rush hour getting at least this stretch here. Usually once you pass Cross Bay Boulevard, things kind of widen up for us. But other than that, we have that crash there on the Van Wyck going north. Kind of just typical delays out of the Belt Parkway, coming out of the airport in towards Kew Gardens. Then the Grand Central is just all loaded up, essentially from Nassau County straight on in towards Kew Gardens. Opens up for you here once you get out towards the LIE. And then after that, we hit the brakes as you come up towards LaGuardia and out towards City Field into the merge with the BQE. So this point, not really seeing much in the way of any major accidents. It's just a lot of volume. And then the LIE, basically from Messina Boulevard all the way in towards Woodhaven, then further up the line in towards the merge with the BQE, which for those who drive that, certainly, you no stranger to that kind of traffic. Let's check out the ride in Brooklyn this morning, and we have some problems here on the belt. Another crash this time. It's just before the exit for the Verrazano. Let's jump on over to Staten Island. Now we're seeing some major problems with a couple of accidents. Looks like going eastbound here just before you come up towards the bridge, and that has traffic backed almost all the way back to the Goethals Bridge. Let's go back to our friends at 511, and this is actually a really good site. A lot of good cameras here this morning. Let's see if we can find out what that crash is. No live camera there. So we'll continue over towards, again, this is what it's going to happen. Sometimes these cameras just come in and out. Our friends over at DOT try to do their best they can to keep these things as active as possible. It looks like a bunch of these cameras are taken out of service here. So sometimes, again, like I said, this happens, but could be potentially the crash may have taken something down as far as power is concerned to the cameras, those big tall silver towers that you see. Sometimes, they got to run on power as well, and connectivity is an issue for those cameras too. So sometimes that can be a problem, and unfortunately looks like all the Staten Island cameras are out. Let's go to the city site. Sometimes the feeds just don't translate back on over to the actual 511. As I turn around, as my brother will yell at me, it's 7:12 now. So we're going to quickly finish up here with the city on Staten Island. I want to get to the Bronx as well as Brooklyn again, just in just a couple of moments before we get up towards Connecticut and the Hudson Valley. So yeah, there it is. So the city cameras are working. So let's see, we're on the westbound side of the Staten Island Expressway. So we got that crash there. This is on your approach in towards the Goethals Bridge. So that is going to be just a bit of a mess here this morning. So just past 440. Let's check out the ride here. Yeah, this is going to be the eastbound side all loaded up. Let's see if we can find that crash, shall we? This was closer towards the bridge. Let's go split the difference, go Highland. That's showing more a Highland Boulevard than the actual Staten Island Expressway. So out by the bridge, that doesn't look bad. I got a feeling the crash is before that because that's usually a little stacked and packed with the sun glare. Yeah, this is that Clove, and that's going to be eastbound that heads away. So some of this also is the sun glare, as you can see, is hitting you right in the eyes. And Staten Island Expressway kind of notorious for that sun glare coming across the island on over towards the Verrazano. So with that said, while we're still on the cameras, because I think cameras show, pictures worth 1,000 words, right? So we'll go through Industry City, inbound Gowanus, and that doesn't look too bad here. I've certainly seen worse at this time at almost 7:15 in the morning. Let's come on over towards 37th. Yeah, that's the inbound side, kind of stacked and packed into the Prospect. As you get up onto the top of the world, this is actually Hamilton Avenue. Let's go on over towards the exit for the BQE, and it's not showing what I wanted to show. So let's see if it's this one. No, it's Hamilton Ave at 9th Street. Let's see what this one is. I think this is the one towards the Midtown Tunnel. Towards the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, or the Hugh Carey Battery Tunnels. We'll give it its props. Let's go into the trend, shall we? Yeah, look at that. This is just all loaded up. Let me see if I can blow that up here. Using a Mac, so we got a Command plus, no. Option plus, no. Function plus, no. Away. So plus, Option plus. Something makes this camera makes it a little bit bigger, but nonetheless, yeah, all loaded up on in towards the Brooklyn Bridge. Let me just check out the ride here as you come up. And again, some of this also is going to be the situation where they've restriped that section of the BQE along the promenade. So we'll head on over towards here. That's you can't really see much. Let's see if we can find a better camera. This is the upper roadway here. So it's just kind of normal stuff for a morning rush hour. At 7:15, a whole lot you can do really, other than leave some extra travel time or most of our friends pretty much know the drill here. This is the inbound side coming around the corner where you get up onto um, the cantilevered section of the BQE, throwing all kinds of fancy words at you, right? So early on a Monday morning. So let's quickly go back to the Google Maps. Want to check out the scene here into Manhattan. For the most part, at the Queensboro Bridge, that actually looks a little bit heavier than the Midtown Tunnel. Maybe some avoiding the toll. The Battery Tunnel is going to be just a little bit backed up as well, on over towards the Bronx, and yeah, pretty much from the interchange going west on over through to the Bronx River Parkway is going to be heavy, and the southbound side of the Bruckner doing what it does best into the Bronx River Parkway. Again, really not anything out of the ordinary there, friends. And then both ways here tied up on the Deegan as you get up towards the RFK split into Manhattan as well as on over towards Queens. So for the most part, kind of normal traffic. I don't see any accidents here this morning being reported, although it looks like the Throgsic may have an issue getting over towards Queens. Just to come up to the Cross Island. So we also have the Deegan is awfully heavy here, just at the Yonkers line. I mean, just literally south of the Yonkers line by Van Cortlandt Park, heading all the way on out towards the Cross Bronx. But again, that's kind of just normal stuff. So let's take a look at the clock. I will get a clock, trust me, at 7:17. We're going to let's go back towards let's do a quick check of Hudson Valley and Connecticut, shall we? For the most part, fairly quiet here in Westchester. Hush, a little bit slow as you get south of 287 as we make our way through Connecticut. Typical stuff here, stacked and packed on 95 out of Bridgeport into Fairfield. We'll go 27 down through about 22. The Merritt's heavy straight out of Trumbull all the way down in towards Route 7. I can get a little bit of a reprieve there, but again, there's nothing out of the ordinary. You can pick up more volume on the shoreline from, we'll say, Sherwood Island, 18 down through Darien and 11, and then picks up a lot of traffic out by the Stamford train station as you make your way from about 9 into 7. Then it opens up here through Greenwich. Same thing with the Merritt through New Canaan. That looks pretty good just on the southern end of it here as you come up in towards 106. But again, kind of normal stuff, so no major accidents there. Let's take a look at Rockland County, shall we? Southbound Thruway, loaded up from the Parkway connector to 14 all the way through 12. That's just normal stuff, a little bit heavy as you get on over towards the Cuomo Tappan Zee Bridge. But again, once you come off the bridge, you're looking good on 287 and the Thruway. So now let's jump on over to, let's go back towards New Jersey. Well, we didn't really go into New Jersey because of the breaking traffic news there on the southern state. So we'll start off here in the Eastern Spur. They're saying a disabled vehicle on the Turnpike Eastern Spur southbound ramp to the Lombardi. I really hard-pressed to see that that's probably causing much in the way of any kind of a problem. So let's start off here in North Jersey, shall we? And if you can type in a comment, just let me know whether that map is going to be big enough. Let's just go full screen. Let's try that. Let's just see if how that works for everyone. So at this point, we've got typical delays along 208 as you get it south here this morning in towards Fair Lawn and Maple Avenue. 17, Parkway looks in pretty good shape. So there's 287. And for the most part, this section of 287, Monmouth through Oakland out to 23. It's only going to slow if there is some sort of a crash of some type. As we continue on here this morning, 17, a little bit heavy getting into Essex Street, heading north, and then eastbound 3. Then most of this is sun glare as you get out from 21 on over towards 17. So now let me just bring up some other things here. So we can add a little music to this. Now we didn't try this during the test show, so let's just see how this. Can you hear that or not? Yeah. A little something to get things moving for a Monday, right? Want to make it too loud, so we'll put it down here into the background. There we go. All right, so now we're rocking and rolling here this morning throughout Jersey, and again we're coming up on 2720 or so. This is what we got. So we go west on 280 is a little bit heavy here out by Prospect Avenue, and kind of normal stuff. Parkway busy through Bloomfield. Say 147 on up in towards 150. We'll go to let's go to the Hudson River crossing, shall we? Let me see if I can bring up my map of the Hudson Rivers. Hopefully hopefully the computer doesn't completely fry on me when I do this. Hopefully we get some new gear here into the traffic center shortly. So we've got 3 people watching, so that's great news. My comments, see if anybody else has made a comment. Not yet. So if you are watching us, this is that first broadcast. This is Tri-State Traffic Show. Welcome. O'Don here this morning with you, and we're going to do this every morning, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. So let's take a look at the Hudson River crossing, shall we? 26 at the George, the upper, 37 for the lower, almost a half at the Lincoln, and about 25 from most of the approaches there at the Holland Tunnel, which will show you coming onto the inbound Skyway. As we get on over towards the covered roadway, we also have the Bay extension. Again, this is just normal stuff. Here at 14, a little bit heavy. A lot of sun glare across the Bay Bridge this morning. And then we head up to the George. You can see, it's just back towards maybe Route 4. So, again, between sometimes these times here, they a little heavy-handed, so that maybe just a little bit less than that, we'll say. So, on average, about 25 at the George. We'll split the difference and go that way. Both ways of 46 is going to be heavy here in the Little Falls area, out towards the interchange. And then eastbound on 80, just all stacked and packed here from exit 28 all the way out through, I'd say just about exit 34. East of that, maybe the 35 or so. And a lot of that is going to be sun glare this morning. It's a bright, beautiful day from the gloomy Saturday we had. It felt like it was Halloween, October time, right? So again, kind of normal stuff there as we come up on 722. So let's take a quick check of Central Jersey to see what the scene is here. Yeah, 287, we're pretty much fine. So is the Parkway. Exiting here for the Outer Bridge is going to be a little bit slow, but the Turnpike, 195, the Trenton area is fairly quiet. The Parkway along the shoreline, again, really not very hard pressed to call it traffic. And then some heavy traffic here on 55 getting up into the Deptford area. Again, that's through that long-term construction. So let's head on over towards, let's go back here this morning at 723. I want to go back to our top story is going to be the Southern State Parkway. It's still shut down with that accident investigation, unfortunately. So let's check in with that. We'll go back to our friends here at New York 511. Come on over towards that Southern State Parkway camera, shall we? And let's check it out. Again, this is just before the Cross Island Parkway. See if I can run some of that video. And there it is. Yeah, unfortunately, this is not a good scene on that westbound side. So usually when something is closed this long, unfortunately, doing this a long time, it could potentially be something extremely serious. I don't want to say what that could be, but I think you maybe can extrapolate from what I'm showing you and the length of time it's been out there. So we don't know anything, but again, we have this accident investigation on the westbound side at 13 just before the Cross Island Parkway, and our traffic again is backed up all the way through just about exit 17 here this morning. So I was thinking it was going to be a little bit worse than that as far as the traffic. I was thinking it's going to be back towards into the lower 20s, but it's potential, friends. The work from home thing, people see this and realize, hey, wait a minute, maybe I can go in a little bit later, or they're just going to work from home. But Sunrise Highway is also going to be an issue here this morning. And this is as you get closer to the Queens line here by the Green Acres Mall. Let me see if I can pull up the video for this one. It comes and goes because there's traffic lights along Sunrise Highway. So that's really, again, our biggest traffic story here this morning, and it is going to be 7:25. So let's see if we can stick to the format here this morning. We'll head up towards the Connecticut area. Let me bring in my list for the Connecticut issues, if there are any, I should say. Let's bring up those are the cameras. So we're going to go to traffic events. Let's see what the scene is. So we've got, road work on 95. Not worried about that. 54:52. It's gonna be out there until 1:28 p.m. Wow, very very specific time there. 95, we've got obviously the delays there, 27:20, and then we go 17:13, and then 10 to 5. Let's see the Merritt. We got the Trumbull area, 50 to 42, about 11 miles worth of traffic here this morning. So again, this is normal stuff for the morning rush hour. Let's give a refresh here for our friends at MTA. We'll check in with Metro North, and we'll see what the deal is there. And we are going to be on time status across the board. So is our Long Island Railroad customers. They are going to be looking good. Really no major problems there. So let's check out the ride up towards the Westchester region as we continue here this morning on a Monday morning for the debut broadcast, the Tri-State Traffic Show. We've got 3 people watching. Good morning to you. Alexandria, once again, thanks a lot for our first comment here on the Tri-State Traffic Show. Let's bring up her. There's Alexandria's comment. There we go. And she's watching from home today. It's one of her work from home days. So, some of that hybrid situation also can help out traffic, if you do have to go into the office or to your job here this morning. Again, Alexandria, thank you very much. And again, we're sponsored by the Cranford Vanilla Bean Creamery, 22 North Avenue West. You see it at the bottom on the scroll there. Give Ralph a call. Some of the best ice cream in the tri-state area, 908-272-3000. He's right on North Avenue West there, right across from the train station on the historic Raritan Valley line. So we'll take a look at Westchester County. And this is just our normal stuff here, getting south on the Hutch, south of 287. Also, we've got issues here in Rockland County on the thruway southbound of the 14 on over towards just about 12. Let's see if we can check out the ride on the thruway with our friends over at 511 New York. Bring those cameras up, shall we? Let me check to see if the Jersey cameras work here. No, the Jersey cameras don't work on that side, but for some reason they go ahead and put them in. So here we go. We're at the Palisades. Come on, loading. Let's see if that comes up. Nope. Now we got 5 people watching. Awesome. This is at the interchange in Spring Valley at 14. It's really the one at the Palisades I want. Come on, work. Guess not. Let's just bring it back a little bit further. Yeah, this is at 14A, so it's a little heavy as you kind of come around the corner just past 59. If we can get there, it is. There's the Palisades camera. Let's see if we can get some rolling video, shall we? There we go. So yeah, this is just southbound, and some of that's just the way that the sun glare. The sun is hitting you in the eyes. It's just yeah. When you come around the corner here, let's check out the ride on the span of the Tappan Zee. Yeah, doesn't look bad. I mean, it's a little heavy heading into Westchester, but that's to be expected. Nothing extraordinarily out of the ordinary. And then once you get off the bridge here out to 287 in the Elmsford area, things are also going to be in pretty good shape. So, again, we are up and running now this morning. Our breaking news at the bottom coming up the bottom of the hour is going to be the fact that the Southern State Parkway still remains closed here this morning. And we're going to talk to you about that in just a few moments. Again, that's that westbound side of the Southern State Parkway. I'm going to put it up in the banner. It is going to be closed at exit 13 for an accident investigation, unfortunately. Accident. Okay, let's just put this one up. And let's see if we can save this. Again, this is all kind of a work in progress here, friends. So hide that ticker, and we're going to put this one up here this morning. That took. I don't think it did, so we didn't save it. So we didn't save it the right way. So we're going to see if we can edit this one again. Hopefully everyone had a good Mother's Day yesterday. Weather actually kind of warmed up for some parts of the area. Thursday myself. So again, we had a good weekend. Saturday really was just a washout. Like I said earlier in the show, it really felt like Halloween. Really, kind of just a weird feel to the air. This colder weather is out of the way. As I type in, I should say, Southbound Southern State Parkway closed at exit 13. Okay, save this. There we go. All right, we got that up and running. So here at the bottom of the hour, let's talk to our friends here about our good sponsor this morning very briefly. Cranford Vanilla Bean Creamery. So Cranford Vanilla Bean Creamery, my good pal Ralph over there at the ice cream shop in beautiful downtown Cranford. He is just awesome as far as his ice cream is concerned. Let me bring up the there we go. That's his webpage, CranfordVanillaBeanCreamery.com. Makes some of the best ice cream throughout the tri-state area, located on 22 North Avenue West. 272-3000 is his phone number. Give him a call. Ralph, very, very generous in sponsoring the Tri-State Traffic Show here on this debut. And debut week, he'll be with us here for quite a while. It's our sponsor. So again, Cranford Vanilla Bean Creamery, North Avenue West, 22 North Avenue West, so right across from the Cranford train station. 272-3000 is his number. Now let's get back to, unfortunately, the action. Let's go back towards New Jersey, shall we? And we'll check out the scene here this morning. You know what? Let's just, let's go back to New Jersey. Because we're going to try to kind of keep to that format every 5 minutes or so, kind of spin it around the region. Let me go back to my comments here. Looks like we have a new comment here. And greetings from Homedale. All the best you've been missed. Thank you very much. Put that on up. How's traffic in Monmouth County near the Parkway? That's a good question, Auntie Anna. So we will head over towards the Parkway in New Jersey. Let's check it out here this morning. Again, folks, if that's something that you will like, a little personalized traffic. So let's see, you are going to be in Monmouth County. So that is, for the most part, that looks really good, actually. In fact, coming up into 117, 105, this entire stretch of the Garden State Parkway looks fantastic. Coming up from 18 all the way up into the Driscoll Bridge. I mean, you see a little bit of a backup at the Driscoll, but that is just some exiting volume there. It looks like for the Outer Bridge crossing and 440 this morning, that's going to be just a little bit heavy. Not quite sure why. So let's zoom in so we can get. Yeah, well, it looks like looks like unfortunately there's a crash there coming off of the Driscoll Bridge. Let's see if we can find. I can find that camera. There was a good Parkway camera there for a long time in that area this morning. Let's see if we can find that. Let's just see here. Again, this is all being done in real time. So let's see if this camera works. No, that one's not working. It's really, I would imagine, is probably on the exit for 440. Yeah, here it is. This is the northbound side coming into 127, which is really for 287, as well as for 440 in the Outer Bridge crossing. So that's why that's going to be just a little bit slow. I had some eyes on that actual problem crash-wise, but I don't see anything. Let's just give a refresh, see if anything else has come up here for the Garden State. Now it's just this broken down vehicle on the ramp to the Vince Lombardi off the Eastern Spur, and that's not really going to cause anybody any kind of a headache whatsoever here this morning at 7:34. So let's do a quick check, I should say, of New Jersey Transit this morning. And for the most part, we are on time across the board. Good news there. Coastline corridor temporary schedule adjustments going to be in effect for about the next 2.5 months or so. Getting out to some major repair work there by the Laurel Avenue Bridge. That's really not going to cause, potentially cause a little bit of a problem, but, just kind of budget some extra travel time there. Let's take a look at the travel crossings this morning. We'll check in with the bridges and tunnels. Still about half an hour for the upper to the George, 42 at the lower, half hour at the Lincoln, 30 at the Holland Tunnel. See if I can bring this across here this morning. I don't know why it won't let me. Oh, there we go. Bayonne Bridge is fine. Gothel's about 13 and about 10 to the Outer Bridge crossing. But just be reminded that you got that issue as you come off of the bridge here with that crash. But again, for the most part, Central Jersey is looking in pretty good shape. Parkway starts to back itself up here through that long-term construction in towards the Union area. We'll go 139 Chestnut Avenue. Chestnut Street, I should say, in Union, on up in towards 78 into Irvington. Heavy both ways here through Bloomfield by 148. Also 24 west of the mall is starting to see a lot of traffic as well. And then east here on 80, I was thinking it's sun glare. I have a feeling that maybe it's something potentially not being reported out by Route 15, because this is backed up all the way through about exit 28, or actually exit 30, Howard Boulevard into 34. And I think it's sun glare, but there's certainly something that may have happened kind of off to the shoulder there, and then 15 to south, heavy there, I should say, in the Jefferson area. So again, a little bit of normal stuff for the most part. Into the 287, 80 interchange is fine. Even 80 through Fairfield looks in pretty good shape. This Route 3 eastbound is pretty backed up. Some solid delays in towards Route 17. I'm going to take a quick check of that camera at 17. Just see what we've got going on, if there's anything there to report. Again, I think it's just sun glare, but again, some of these cameras are kind of temperamental for my friends over at the DOT. This is 17, that's more Ridge Road. Let's see if we can find the one at 17 itself, Route 3. Yeah, that's fine. It's just before it. So this is going to be on 17 at Orient Way. That's eastbound 3. So there is something happening. Something's going on. Something is going on, right? So as let's see if there's a secondary camera here along 3 as you get out towards 17. Let's just see if they got to turn the other way. Hopes that maybe we could see something, and no. So you're looking west. So whatever it is, friends, is going to be just east of Orient Way here, just before you come up towards 17, and that's why things are backed up. Let's see if the 21 camera is working. Out of Nutley in Lyndhurst, no, that one's out of service. So that's what I'm going with. There's something definitely happening there, right in this area, just before Route 17. So that's why things are just a bit backed up. All right, so we're on the clock here at 7:37. So let's go on over towards that Southern State Parkway issue this morning. As I've been mentioning, with that breaking traffic alert you see at the bottom, westbound Southern State is closed at exit 13 with an accident investigation, unfortunately, but it's been out there since about 5 o'clock this morning. So now we're going on 2.5 hours. Our delays are starting to grow just a little bit now. I think maybe some folks were thinking maybe this may have been reopened or cleared right before the Cross Island. It's it's pretty busy here from about 17 all the way into that location. So again, you can take Dutch Broadway and try to make your way on over towards the Queens line. It's a little bit of obviously a tough spot, and look, it's a horrible situation no matter where it is when something is closed like this for kind of what I think it may be, but I'm not going to say because we don't have the details. So nothing confirmed, but an accident investigation with a road closed this long usually is unfortunately not a good scene. Sunrise Highway is easing out just a little bit. Hempstead Turnpike may be picking up a little bit of extra traffic as well through that section out of Franklin Square into Elmont. We'll check out some of the other issues here along the island. Now, this is where it's getting interesting, is because now westbound of the Southern, look at this Meadowbrook Parkway. Everyone's bailing here at 22 because they don't want to get stuck here to go further west, because once you get past the Meadowbrook, you're pretty much done. I mean, unless you get off here onto the local roadways, trying to make your way out through Nassau Road, Grand Avenue, or Peninsula Boulevard at 19. Really, 19 is probably your bailout point. I don't even think Eagle Avenue at 18. Yeah, you may be able to get to Eagle, but that's really about it. So for these are our friends trying to make their way into Queens because they're looking to stay on the major roadways, and this is heading up to the Meadowbrook Parkway. So we're backed up almost all the way out through the Wantagh, and even the Wantagh is picking up, I think, maybe a little bit of extra volume. Again, friends, it's been a little while since we've done some Long Island traffic, but yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of extra traffic there. And then the Southern is backed up. We'll put this back in towards about exit 31 or so, all the way out through 135, Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway. And then this is really where it loads up here. I mean, look at this Meadowbrook Parkway. I mean, it is just a mess from Hempstead Turnpike all the way up in towards the northern state. Again, this is all, I think, a lot of extra volume bailing out of that southern state issue. That's what happens for our savvy drivers here along the island. They know how to get off the island in many, many ways. And trust me, I worked out in Long Island for 12 years and pretty much know every which way to get off Long Island heading westbound. It can be very, very difficult at times. So this is just all messed up here, getting up in towards the northern state. LIE is heavy out of 135, typical stuff from about exit 44 through 39, and same thing with the westbound Southern State Parkway. Let me see if I can get some eyes here this morning. That Southern State, the Meadowbrook situation. Let's just see if how we are. Again, it's now starting to really cook, really heat up here this morning across all the entire area. So let's head over towards that Meadowbrook. See if we can find a camera for us this morning. Let me just get my bearings here. That's the LIE. No, we got to come down a little bit. It's 106 and 107. That's the Wanta. Here it is, the Meadowbrook. So let's check it out in real time. At Zeckendorf, that's north on the far left, and getting on up in towards North State. That's the traffic that's going to be moving away from us. So that's kind of really just a busy ride. Let's see what that Southern State. Let's just check to see if there is anything happening as far as if there's any crash or whatnot is concerned. That's going to be east 2425. That's Sungler, but there's your westbound side out of 25. Let's check it out further east here, 2930. That's going to be westbound heading away from us. So that's going to be a solid ride. Let's continue on now. Let's just see what kind of split the difference. I think there's two cameras here at 106, and this is west. It's just barely even moving. And as I said before, that is all because of that closure out at 13 in the Cross Island. And that's our friends all bailing out, getting onto the Meadowbrook State Parkway. So let's check out the city now. We've got just a lot of delays here this morning on the westbound side of the belt. Looks like we've got a crash. That's on Conduit Avenue, but there's another crash here just west of Cross Bay Boulevard. That's just really loading up things. This is loaded up here and seeing another crash out by Flatbush Avenue. So let's go to the city cameras, shall we? Sometimes they're a little bit in better shape than what the 511 is this morning. Let's come on over come out of Brooklyn so we can get down towards the Belt Parkway. All right, so let's go to Flatbush. Yeah, that's fine, because I think maybe the issue is just before. Unfortunately, through this long-term construction that they did all this, they didn't add any new cameras here. There was one at Rockaway Parkway for a long time, but that's the Canarsie Pier. So let's show you the camera at Pennsylvania. That's going to be west. That's heading, let's see, west. But yeah, west is heading away from us. So again, I think there's something just past Pennsylvania here this morning into Rockaway Parkway. That's got to be something going on there, because it shouldn't be that heavy. And this is all the way out by Erskine, and that's west on the far left. Let's just check out the ride here. The work cameras here at Cross Bay. This is actually on Cross Bay. It's not the one I want. This is going to be just west of that. It's going to be, yeah, that's which way is that going? 8 facing south. I think that's going west, is heading away from us here this morning. Well, we got 5 people watching, so that's good news. Coming up on 7:45 now. We're 45 minutes into this first debut broadcast of the Tri-State Traffic Show. Again, we'll be with you each and every morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. We'll maybe even throw a little, potentially some shore traffic in on Saturday, but we'll see. And maybe some Friday evening getaway traffic in towards, let's say, Memorial Day weekend. Probably definitely do that starting about 3 to 5 or so. So we'll continue on now. Let's see what else we've got. We're coming up on 7:45 here in just a moment. Yep, mark that, 7:45. We've got the Van Wyck Expressway all tied up into the Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson, just a ton of volume here this morning. There's really not a whole lot of places that folks can go there. It's just a mess. Let's check out the ride here in the LIE. Nothing out of the ordinary from Cena Boulevard, heading all the way out to basically Woodhaven, and then also north on the BQE into the Grand Central is heavy. West in the Grand Central is all tied up out by City Field and the airport. Let's check out the crossings. Queensboro Bridge, probably going to put that at about 15 or so. Midtown Tunnel, probably about the same, 15. The Williamsburg, about 10 or so. Brooklyn Bridge actually doesn't look bad. I think some of that is just because there's just a lot of traffic getting up into the Brooklyn Bridge. There's some issues here across the top of the world through the Gowanus. But again, nothing out of the ordinary. Same thing into the Battery Tunnel. Let's go on in towards Manhattan. We missed that on the last pass. West side, east side, FDR Drive, a little bit heavy here in between the tunnel and Queensboro Bridge. Then further up the line, the drive, Harlem River is just loaded up here as you get up in towards the RFK Triborough. And then south coming off the George is heavy on the west side. Again, just normal stuff. And our George Washington Bridge is running just about, I'd say about 25 to 30 minutes or so. Let me see if I can bring up, we'll take a quick check of the weather. Hopefully we're going to be able to get some weather into the broadcast here. Let's check out some conditions here this morning. Over at EWR, we're looking at a chilly start at 48. Farmingdale out on the island, 47. Same thing, Shirley, 47. So into the mid to upper 40s, which certainly I think at this time of the year for May the 9th, I think certainly it should be a little bit warmer than that. I mean, it's, I'll be perfectly honest here. It's a little bit chilly in the traffic center, the apartment complex where I live here. Usually May, I thought it was May 15th, but it's really must have been May the 1st or whatever. They shut the heat off in the place. So a little bit frosty here this morning, but maybe some of our friends as well, maybe going through that until we sort of get some of this warmer weather potentially towards the end of the week. So that's a quick check of your weather here this morning. Let's head on back towards New Jersey, we're going to try to keep this format. I know it's going to be a little bit difficult here at times with some of that breaking traffic news, which is that westbound side of the Southern. You know what? Let's just go back to that because that is a really big deal. And we're going to show you the cameras here, multiple cameras on the westbound Southern. Let's run some of the video here. Unfortunately, it looks like the vehicle in question is here. Looks like that's onto the flatbed. So it looks like they're exiting off here at 13. Again, really 13 is for the Cross Island. So it looks like it's just before that's where they're kind of exiting some of that traffic up. But there's a lot of heavy apparatus here on that westbound side of the Southern. And that, as I'm saying, we're doing this a long time. And it doesn't, it's not a terribly good sign. Let me see if I can find some of the other cameras within that area that we can kind of show you here this morning. I think I just showed you that. No, 13 Central Avenue. That's a different camera. So this is between 12 and 13. So that's looking back east. But that, again, with the closure there, what that's doing is making for a much better ride on the Cross Island until you come up towards Hempstead Turnpike. Is going to be just a little bit heavy. There it is at Fletcher and 14. See if we can get that video to roll for us here this morning. Yeah. And even when I roll the video, I mean, it's the folks aren't even, they're barely even moving. They used to have travel times put up here, and that is again the reason why problems out by the Meadowbrook. This is 16, 17 out through. Let's see if we can go for Hempstead Lake Park. That's going east, so really west here on the left, coming to Eagle. That's kind of, for the most part, where it kind of eases up just a bit. But again, as I mentioned, it's really getting onto the Meadowbrook is going to be a little bit of a problem, as some of our friends are kind of bailing out. That's on the eastbound side. I don't want to show you that one. I'm going to show you a westbound camera here at 106 and 25. So again, that's what happens when you have that full closure. Now we're up to 7 people. That's awesome. Go ahead and leave a comment there, subscribe, like, do all that fun YouTube stuff, as I'm just getting my feet wet here with social media as we're coming up on about 7:50 or so this morning. This is the Tri-State Traffic Show. O'Don, Donnie D here on the backup, as my good friend, the G-Man, calls me. We are live here on this Monday morning. You're watching the debut broadcast, which is sponsored by the Cranford Vanilla Bean Creamery, 22 North Avenue West in downtown Cranford. His phone number is 272-3000. We thank Ralph for all of his support. So you can see that the traffic is backed up towards the Wantagh. And this is, I would say, is a little bit extra heavy. And again, friends, it's been a while since I've done some Long Island traffic. But again, it's like riding a bicycle. It all kind of comes back to you. This is heavy here north M5, M4. Yeah, that is some of that alternate volume that's bailing out of the closure there, which let's just go back to that very quickly, briefly, I should say. Let me see if I can bring that camera up. No, that's at the cross island, which is fine. It's going to be this camera here. Um, let's just do this in real time so we may be the first to show you. I have a feeling that they may be getting ready to open up at least one lane or so, depending on which way the investigation goes this morning. Um, so it looks like it's concentrated here in the two right lanes. So it's potentially they may get that second and middle lane open. Just kind of maybe putting down that speedy dry to go ahead and kind of clean up some of the car fluids, the oil, transmission fluid, what have you, from this crash to make it safe for friends to get through there. But again, there's a lot of DOT trucks here. And again, they do this for their safety. When you come up on a situation like this, slow down, give the crews from the construction, emergency personnel, DOT, give them plenty of room to work, move over, get out of the way, because it's very important for their safety. And they brought out some of the heavier gear here to make sure some of that is taking place as far as, again, their safety as they're starting to clean this up. So we're going to let that camera run. Hopefully the computer doesn't fry here with all of this. So we're going to close out of that for right now. Let's go back up towards the Hudson Valley, shall we, and see what the scene is here this morning. We'll check it in with them. We'll see what's going on. Hudson Valley, it looks like we got a crash here on the thruway at 17. That's just coming in. That's heading, which way is that going? That is going northbound this morning. So we had a problem there. Broken that vehicle on the Taconic south of 37A. That's 84 in the Danbury area. And 22 here in Dutchess County. Got a problem there by Old Route 22. So for the most part, Westchester County is definitely quiet. No issues there, but it's really Dutchess County and Orange County just seeing some problems as well. So let's go back towards our maps. We're in the Bronx this morning. Again, west on the Cross Bronx is going to be heavy. Getting out of the interchange all the way to the outbound George is probably running about 30. Same thing on the southbound Deegan is going to be heavy. And this little section here, that Bruckner Expressway extension, if you want to call it that. I still call it the Bruckner, but south of 95 is going to be tied up. And then we got some delays getting in towards Queens via the Throgsnake Bridge. Same thing with the Whitestone. Getting onto the Hutch, again, kind of just all normal stuff. Really don't see anything in the way of any kind of a major crash or so. Let's see what time it is now. It is now 7:53. Coming up on 5 of. Again, I'm trying to close, hold to the format, but it gets a little difficult, especially when you have the braking traffic alerts there. As you see, westbound Southern State is closed 13 again. That issue, and certainly that's going to be a major problem here this morning. Let's go up towards Rockland County. That's where we're going to go. Just kind of hold till we get to the top of the hour. Let's come on over towards Rockland, shall we? Let's see what the scene is here. And now we're starting to really heat up things as we get really into the heart of the morning rush. Thruway backed up from, I say, 13 all the way to the Tappan Zee. Probably going to run you about another 15 minutes. Now, westbound, that sun glare is starting to kick in with some extra volume. East along 287, east of the thruway about exit 3, all the way through, I don't know if that Bed Bath & Beyond Superstore is still there or not, but going east out through about exit 5, give or take, and some sun glare there, but then things kind of ease up as you get out towards New England Thruway. So things are going to be, kind of typical stuff there this morning as we head out towards Pace here along the Taconic, getting south. That's going to be a bit busy. Not really seeing any issues through Pleasantville, that Pleasantville campus. Let's head on over towards Orange County along the Thruway. Things are moving along fine there, all the way up through the Woodbury Commons Mall. That looks pretty good. Even through Peekskill. My good friend, Middle Mike Haggerty up there in Peekskill. Good morning to you, buddy. As we go south along 684, we're a little heavy out of Brewster. Freddie T up there in Brewster. Let's check out Connecticut while we're here. We'll run down the numbers. We'll go south along the shoreline. Is heavy, let's say 10, straight on down the line in towards the border with Greenwich and about exit 4 or so. If you're on It's Monday morning about 7:55, 5 before the hour. And then we'll go south along 95 is going to be heavy out of Fairfield. We'll put that really Westport. We'll put that delay at about exit 18, 18, 17, straight on to 15. Again, normal stuff. Same thing on the Merida Parkway as you get south and towards Route 7, heading all the way out towards 106. And then further out from that is going to be heavy from about exit 48 through 44. And then just a mess here on 95 Bridgeport into Fairfield. We'll go south of 27, heading all the way into Fairfield and 22, and even the 25 connector is going to be pretty busy here, and that's all just merging in with 95. Let me see if I can find some of the traffic cameras here on 95. Let's see what we've got. Let me see if I can find that 8 and 25 camera, because that's always a pretty good one here for traffic cameras list. So we want to go, let's go roadway. Go 95, and let's see what we got here this morning. This is going to be in Greenwich. Kind of just go down the line, do a spot check all the way across. I think we're going to have to switch cameras there. There it is at exit 9. This here is going to be, as I reach for the water, friends, heading south. But again, that's kind of just normal stuff for the morning. Oh, sorry about the dead air for a moment, but I got a little H2O. Here at 7:56. I don't know if the music is a little bit too loud. I don't believe it is, but I don't hear it in my earpiece. So certainly chime in, comment for us. As let's see, let me see if I can just adjust the music. How's that? A little bit better? All right. There we go. Coming at you, 7:57. Let's continue on with the Connecticut cameras here for the next 2 minutes before we come up to the top of the 8 o'clock hour, and then we'll go to our breaking traffic news on the southern state out of the island. Let's go through Darien at 20 by the Fairfield, by the Darien rest area at 13 is going to be a little bit heavy. Steady moving here at Boston Post Road. It's heavier here at 15. Again, just typical stuff as you get out towards Route 7. And it's always that Route 7 exit is always good. Not a whole lot of folks really use Route 7 for the most part. And then we'll continue on over towards 18. That's beginning to thin out just a bit. I want to bring you on over towards the Fairfield area by the rest area 22. It seems like when is that not backed up? As you get out towards 22 North Benson is going to be heavy here at a 24, and then through 26 is a solid ride through 27. And let's just see how far back that delay gets. We'll see if it gets back to 28. Yeah, that's south on the left is all loaded up here into 27. And then from there on, things look pretty good as you get out through the Stratford area. So again, for our friends in Connecticut, just kind of normal delays across the board, no major issues. Let's check out the rails through the Hudson Valley and Long Island, as well as Connecticut. We'll bring it on over to Metro North. Now we're starting to pick up some delays on the New Haven branch. Let's see what that is. 5 to 10 minutes inbound delays through the Stamford area with signal issues here this morning. So give yourself maybe 15 minutes just to make sure you're on time if you're heading in towards Grand Central. Long Island Railroad, that is going to be in pretty good shape as well. And let's check out New Jersey Transit, shall we, for our friends that come off the Port Jervis line coming out of Rockland County this morning. Let's see what we got. Yeah, NJ Transit pretty much on or close to schedule, as we say here in the traffic business across the board, as we're coming up on the 8 a.m. hour here this morning. Let's just talk to you really briefly here very quickly about our sponsor as we come up towards the top of the hour. Cranford Vanilla Bean Creamery is our sponsor here for the Tri-State Traffic Show. We welcome Ralph to the broadcast. He's located in beautiful downtown Cranford here in New Jersey, here in Union County. And awesome ice cream. I mean, friends, it is just some of the best ice cream across the board. Again, he's located in downtown Cranford, 22 North Avenue West. His phone number is 272-3000. Give Ralph a call and you tell him that I sent you. So now let's here at the top of the 8 a.m. hour, let's go back towards our breaking traffic news. Let's see if they've gotten a lane reopened here potentially on that Southern State Parkway. It's been closed for about the last 3 hours. No, it looks like it's still the same scene. Let's run some of the video this morning, and looks like the scene itself for the most part is clear. That's going to be off to the far left. But they may be waiting on some other emergency personnel to show up to potentially do some other work here this morning. So the actual scene of the vehicle, and if there may be some damage to this concrete median here. But here comes another flatbed. It's got a couple of vehicles involved, so it's potential that there may have been another vehicle or two past this camera that we weren't able to see that potentially was involved in this crash as well. So for now, we are still shut down here at Central Avenue and 13. So keep an eye on this morning. Let's go back towards our cameras. Let's just see how far back this delay gets. We're roughly in the area of 17. Actually, that camera's not the greatest, so let's bring it on over towards 16, 17. And again, even if I roll this, these cars are, they're barely even moving. Everyone's trying to get out towards the Cross Island Parkway. So with that, again, as I mentioned earlier, what that is doing is still kind of tying traffic up here, and it's beginning to ease up just a bit. Let's be honest about that. It is really thinning out here along that Southern State Parkway, in between basically the area of the of just before the Wantagh. It was pretty heavy here out towards 135, but it's really this is where it gets tied up here, the Wantagh, the Meadowbrook. I think folks are, there are the overhead signs here that are giving the travel times, which I'm not even sure what that travel time would be at this point, maybe hour plus because of the closure. So I think some of our friends are probably trying to decide whether do I go onto the Wantagh, do I make my way over towards the Meadowbrook Parkway, kind of what do I do here? Well, obviously, once you pass the Wantagh, you have really no choice other than to take the Meadowbrook. Meadowbrook is heavy getting up in towards the northern states. And let's check out the Wantagh here at Hempstead Turnpike. Again, to full disclosure, it's been a while since I've done Long Island traffic for the morning. So, yeah, that northbound side, to me, seems like it's a little bit extra heavy. Maybe what it should be into that area. Again, some of that just being some alternate volume. Everyone trying to get off of the Southern State Parkway. Here is the Northern State. Let's run some of that video here this morning. That's just kind of stacked and packed here from 36 into 35 out by South Oyster Bay Road. Let's check in with the expressway. Some delays here. Yeah, this is 3940 out through west of Jericho Turnpike. Again, even with the HOV lane, you're kind of barely even moving here this morning. As we make our way further west, let's head out a little bit further east. Just want to check in with the delays there of what we got. Let's see. Let's make our way over towards what do we got? The LIE. Looks like we got an issue here. Actually, this is just before Babylon area, Deer Park Avenue, and that exit 51. Yeah, looks like we got something going on there. Westbound 51 to 50. The center lane is closed here, so that's going to be definitely an issue. Let's see if we can get the camera at Bagatelle. I don't see it there, so it's probably just out of the range of the cameras. This is Deer Park Ave at Half Hollow, so that's not really going to show me anything. So we'll head to Comac Road this morning out by the rest area. Let's see what that is. That's just all loaded up. As you get past about exit 52, come on, let's see if we can work this area. Yeah, westbound at Comac Road, all tied up with that crash here this morning out by 51. So we're going to push that back to the Saginaw Coast Parkway. That's going to be definitely backed up here this morning. So yeah, so a bit of a tough ride for friends out on Long Island. Let's head on over back towards New Jersey and see what the scene is here. We've got coming up on 7:05 or a little bit after. Got a couple of things working here this morning. So we've got a problem on 21. That's a crash. The Tacony Palmyra Bridge. That is the drawbridge is on the open side here. So that's going to be an issue as well. Let's check in with the cameras here along 21 so we can find anything there. That's a 46. I don't think there's a camera. Also, the Parkway we're talking about problems coming out towards Route 1. I know there's definitely a camera there. Let's see if we can find that. Well, first we're on 21, so let's head up towards the 46 interchange. And again, I don't believe that camera is going to be operational. Let's no, don't see anything there. Let's see if I can find that Parkway crash for you. Let's check in with our friends at the Turnpike and see what that situation is here this morning. Well, we got two people. We had up to 7 at one point. So if you're watching, please leave me a comment. Let me know if you can actually hear, see how it sounds. Alexandria, if you're watching us this morning, again, if you're still with us, maybe just let me know what you think of the music or, how things sound and how things look. Let's head over to the Parkway. We want to go 129. It's not going to show me anything here. Colonia, I don't think it's going to show me anything. Yeah, well, yeah. Here we go. That's south. That's all getting out to Route 1. It's usually just a mess to begin with. But, yeah, that's definitely a problem here, friends. So you're watching this in the Clark area coming out of Central Avenue, 135. Be careful getting out of the Parkway. Give me a fair warning here already. That could be a bit of an issue. So there's the Parkway. This is basically out by the Turnpike, and that's fine, obviously, because of the issues there. Let me see if I can find there is a camera on Route 1 at the Parkway. Let's see if they maybe are looking at this as well. Sometimes they cross-cooperate between agencies. Let's see. No, camera's not working. So, okay. There we go. Let's spin it back on over towards Jersey. We'll check it out. This is the area in question this morning. Is going to be right here. It's just past Metro Park. Now, that's another issue, too. If you're heading out to Metro Park and you're using the Parkway, you're going to be all tied up here out through Colonia. That's probably going to add at least another 15 to 20 minutes. I mean, it's barely even moving because that's always that tough spot as you come underneath the railroad bridge there. And it looks like I'm going to say it's before the bridge because the bridge is literally maybe, I don't know, 500 feet, something like that before you exit for Route 1. So yeah, that's the problem there. And then north on 287, stacked up through the Edison area, even 18 starting to get a little bit busy there this morning, just south of 287. Kind of Route 9, typical delays there. And then Auntie Anna, we got the Parkway here going south. Not sure which way you were going, but that is going to be going south here this morning, a little tied up in towards Route 18 on this Monday morning. And like I'm competing with the music, better without it. All right, so we got let's see if we can turn the music off. Thank you, Kendra. That. So let's see what we got here. I just got to figure out how to shut the music off. There we go. All right, that sounds better. Sounds of Silence, right? Somebody did a cover of that. One of some heavy metal band or something. Elstrom or something, and I don't know if I'm getting way out of the wheelhouse for myself, but really a good version of that. So thank you, Alexandria, for that. So we'll keep the music off. That's good to know. So I should have done that in the test, but I didn't do that. So just found that option over the weekend. We'll check out the ride here on 29. It's going to be a little bit heavy as you come up in towards the Trenton Tunnel. But yeah, that's just kind of just normal stuff. I mean, there's really no way around that. Just a lot of some of our state house workers making the way out here at coming up on 810 this morning. Let's head back up in towards North Jersey, eastbound 80. I did see something pop up on the screen there. Let's see if that is, yeah, that's going to be cleared. That was in that area just east of Route 15. Oh, that's where I was going. It's Coney Palmyra Bridge. That's right, 73. That's what we wanted to check out. Probably not much to check out other than the fact that the traffic is backed up because the bridge is open. But nonetheless, we'll see what that is here. So unless this camera works, it's a 50-50 shot. Yeah, it looks like that is back in the down position because this is slowly thinning out. So I'm going to go with 73 now back reopened here this morning. Let's go back to 22. We got a broken down tractor trailer east of Broad Street and Hillside. So now that's going to be a problem heading out to Newark Liberty. Let's see what that is doing. Yep, that's exactly what it's doing back to the Parkway. This is a tough stretch of the road to begin with. This is out by Weequahic Park in Newark. So it's just in this area as you come past Broad Street. But look what it's done to traffic. I mean, it's all the way back towards the Parkway. I mean, it is, and the Parkway heading north, again, north on the Parkway, passing Galloping Hill, getting out for 140 is just all banged up. And again, some of that is that long-term construction, which hopefully this summer they will finish that. Again, those bridges needed repair, no question about that. But that finishes up soon because it's been just really a big mess. So the eastbound 22, if you're heading over to Newark Liberty, friends, I would say I'll potentially pay the toll on the Parkway at 142 and go east there through Hillside. If you really have to catch the flight, if you've left enough travel time and you still want to save a little bit of cash, go with 22. But we're not quite sure how long this is out there. Again, there's only 2 lanes in this section out by Weequahic Park. So that's where that becomes the problem because you only have 1 lane open. That may be tied up depending on the size of the tractor trailer and whatnot, depending on the emergency apparatus trying to get out there. Westbound 78 still busy here west of the Parkway through Vauxhall, getting out towards Route 24. And then 24 is just a mess where you lose the lane there passing the Short Hills Mall as you come in towards Madison area, really. And then further up the line, getting in towards Columbia Turnpike is heavy. Coming off of 287 is definitely a slow go as you head out towards exit 1. Now, westbound 280, friends, has been really tied up here. And yeah, and the reason why there's a crash, let me see if I can, let's see if that camera's working. You know, like I said, sometimes these cameras are kind of temperamental, but that's just the nature of of pushing live video throughout the entire state. It gets a little difficult to kind of keep everything all operational on one shot. This is by Prospect Avenue. All right, so this is your westbound side. So it's just past where the camera is coming into this section here this morning with this crash. So let's go back to the maps, and we're going to say, you know, just I think it's just west of it, really, kind of coming down the other side of the hill here, out by Prospect and exit 8. So, you know, maybe another 10 minutes worth of travel time there. What is that? Jimmy Buffs of West Orange. Well, I could go for a Italian hot dog. That sounds pretty good. I digress here. So southbound along 208, getting into Fairlawn, it's pretty heavy into Maple Avenue. Westbound on 80, some typical delays there, getting through the Patterson area. Same thing on Route 4 by Hackensack Avenue. Eastbound 3 is still a mess as you get out towards 17. And let's check in with the Turnpike here. We're going to go 13A up into 14, and then further up onto the eastern spur on the approach to the Lincoln Tunnel. And as I say, the Lincoln Tunnel, let's check in with my friends over the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey. Let's see what we got going on here this morning. I'll put it a solid 20 at the George, 20 at the Lincoln, and roughly about 30 at the Holland Tunnel. So we're coming up on about 8:14 now. So Hudson River crossings, kind of normal stuff. I don't really see any major issues there. We'll check in with New Jersey Transit for our friends here in Jersey once again. Let's see what the scene is here. And again, those are just schedule changes in the corridor and the coastline. So I would say no major problems here this morning. Coming up on almost 8:15 now, let's do a quick check of some of our temperatures across the region from our friends over at NOAA. Newark, again, Newark is kind of the quote-unquote hotspot, along with Somerville at 53, 49 at Kabreski, Farmville, Shirley out on the island. So Kabreski's on the island as well. Islip, MacArthur Airport, I would say, probably one of the best airports in the tri-state area if you are traveling. Just a beautiful airport to get in and out of. Kennedy at 50, 51. So we're ranging into the upper 40s and the 50s. The sun is starting to warm things up. So looks like things are going to go up in towards the mid 60s here today. So definitely looking brighter and better than the weekend. At least Saturday was just a major washout. Yesterday, you get a little warmer, a little breezy, though, still. So kind of hold on to your hats and just kind of take it easy on some of the overpasses, the bridges, and so forth with some of those windier conditions. So now we're coming up on 7:15. Let's go back towards our breaking news. As you see at the bottom there, Southern State Parkway. I may have to update that, but let's just see what we've got. If this is still indeed shut down again, it looked like they were potentially going to get that reopened here a moment ago. Let's bring it over to the cameras. There's no live camera there at 13. I think it's going to be this other camera. So now it looks like we've got 2 lanes open. Get that camera. Yep, that's exactly what I said was going to happen, and exactly what is happening. We've got the 2 left lanes open, so that's what they are doing to slowly beginning to alleviate this traffic. So let me update my banners here this morning, and we're going to roll in with the normal banner here because, again, that closure is now no longer in effect. We still have 2 lanes shut down, but it's slowly starting to ease up some of this traffic. Some of these folks here have been stuck here for a couple of hours. Unfortunately, pretty bad accident took place early this morning, and you never want to see that. So certainly the people, even though waiting 2+ hours or 3+ hours behind this traffic, are in certainly much better shape. They lost a little bit of time, but again, nothing confirmed, but just going on experience. When you see something closed up as long as this had been, usually doesn't spell good news. So if you lost a few hours, so be it. But again, that crash has now been somewhat cleared. 2 left lanes are now open. So this delay is going to hopefully give yourself, if you're going to head out here at almost 8:19, I would say, if you can hang out till about 8:30 or so, if you can wait another 15 minutes before you get onto that Southern, maybe that would be a good choice here this morning. Let's see how far back that delay does get. Now we're seeing a lot of red here at almost 8:20. It's from about 17 on over towards that location. I think some are either going to use the work from home situation, or some have been using Sunrise Highway. It's really been this Southern State Parkway getting onto the Meadowbrook, because again, those overhead signs are right before the Meadowbrook, and they're telling you what the travel time is as you get out towards the Cross Island. It'll say CIP on the overhead VMS signs, the variable message signs. So it's just lighting up with some unfortunately some pretty big numbers until some of that traffic begins to ease out. So folks are making the decision to go for the Wantagh. That's why this is heavy now, from now to Southern, all the way through Hempstead Turnpike, pretty much almost all the way up, almost straight up the line in towards the northern state. But the Meadowbrook has really been picking up a lot of that extra traffic, as some of our drivers here on that westbound Southern were thinking, well, maybe they get a lane open, maybe they don't. Maybe I roll the dice and we'll see how far west I can get before I gotta kind of make the call to bail out onto the Meadowbrook. And that's what's happening here all the way up and onto the northern state. We'll continue here this morning. LIE is heavy out through exit 44. It's going to be a solid ride. We still have another crash here just west of Deer Park Avenue, and that's getting things back to 53 in the Side Coast Parkway. And then continuing further west, we're seeing a lot of traffic as well. As you get out of 40 all the way in towards the Northern State Connector. And then it begins to thin out here as you come up in towards about exit 35 or so, just before the Queens line, and then just jammed all the way through Queens, getting out towards the Clearview Expressway. And then beginning to see a little bit more movement here as we get out towards Casino Boulevard. But the eastbound side of the Van Wyck is still just a mess, getting all the way out onto the island, the Grand Central. That's certainly nothing better there. Getting west of the Clearview Expressway with a crash, then the Van Wyck just a normal disaster out of the belt, heading all the way up into the Kew Gardens interchange. Both ways of the Jackie Robinson is heavy. And there's Bell Parkway going west. We're still trying to figure out what's going on here. This is just a mess from the Cross Island all the way out through Canarsie, getting out towards Rockaway Parkway, the eastbound side, east of Flatbush. Looks like now we have another crash there. But see, that's the problem with Waze, and that's the problem with Google Maps at times. It doesn't tell you, it just says crash in the belt. It doesn't tell you which way. I mean, you're taking a guess that's on the eastbound side, and that's kind of where I'm going to go with it is on the eastbound side, because it would not be backed up through Flatbush Avenue if it wasn't. But let's see if we can find that camera at Flatbush. Maybe they zoomed something in here this morning. I highly doubt it, but let's see what we got. Yeah, it's probably just coming off Mill Basin out by the stables or so. I would say it's just in between the Mill Basin and Rockaway Parkway and the Powdergate Basin Bridge. There's got to be something going on there. That's kind of where I'm going to go with it here this morning. So again, good morning to everybody. We are that's the wrong one. Here's Oh, we will, yeah, down with you here this morning on a Monday for the debut of the Tri-State Traffic Show. We'll be with you every weekday morning, Monday through Friday, from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Get you through the morning rush hour throughout the Tri-State area. Again, we're trying to work out the format as far as where do we start first. And usually I like to start with any of the breaking news like we had with the Southern State Parkway, which is now beginning to slowly thin out. Anytime we get a major closure in a really highly congested area, that's what we're going to start with. But normally we'll kind of work out the format in the days to come. So any feedback that you have here on YouTube and Twitter, certainly go ahead and leave that in the comments. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you can. And again, we'll maybe throw up some of the comments here this morning that you might have. Also want to say big hello to my good friend Anna out in Staten Island. I said I'd say hello to her on this debut broadcast. Good morning to you. So she's watching from Staten Island. Again, lots of support for the Tri-State Traffic Show. And speaking of that, we'll do a quick sponsor check here this morning from our friends over at Cranford Vanilla Bean Creamery. That will my good friend Ralph, who's the owner-operator of some of the best homemade ice cream in the tri-state area. He's located in beautiful downtown Cranford in historic Union County, right off the Raritan Valley line. If you're going to take New Jersey Transit, just get off and walk right across past the clock on North Avenue West. His phone number is 908-272-3000. So check in with Ralph for all your ice cream needs. Make some awesome ice cream cupcakes as well as the ice cream cakes. Again, all of his ice cream is completely handmade, homemade from scratch. It is just remarkable ice cream if you like that. Also, he has the adult whips, the pineapple, raspberry, really refreshing, especially when the weather starts to get warmer, which looks like it may be starting to get a little warmer around these parts sometime getting in towards this next week, the end of the week into the weekend. So, yeah, check out Ralph over at the Cranford Vanilla Bean Creamery. Very proud and happy that he is a sponsor of the Tri-State Traffic Show. So now we're coming up on 8:23 now. Let's head over towards go back towards Connecticut, shall we? Let's see if I can bring up the map. And again, we'll just check out the ride there. Again, there's a lot of red in the city, which we'll get to in just a moment. But for friends here in Connecticut, again, the Merritt Parkway is just a mess of traffic, pretty much getting out through Route 7. And also beginning to ease up just slightly here this morning as we get out south of, let's say, Black Rock Turnpike or so. But now it looks like we got a crash on 95 in the, where was that? Let's go back to the maps here. I missed it just a second ago. We've got 4 people watching. Please leave a comment. Let me know where you're watching us from. In the Fairfield area, I'd say by the Rest area. So let's see if we can find that camera, shall we? That's going to be in the Milford area. No, it's not where I want to go. So let's bring things on over to the Westport. This is at 18, so it's going to be further down the line. This is by 22. I don't see anything there. Let's go to the incident list to see if anything popped up about 95 for us. Delays at Hartford. We got road work. Road work 95, 95, 95, 95. Merritt Parkway again 4634. So whatever that was, and again, that's the trouble with Waze. Sometimes it doesn't update until you actually somebody either passes it or unless this is a new crash and they haven't gotten to it yet. The DOT, but Connecticut DOT is pretty spot on as is the or as are my good friends over at Jersey DOT and the City DOT in Long Island. Some of the best in the business here in the tri-state area as far as traffic is concerned. Really, really on top of things 24/7 to keep you safe. So tied up all through Bridgeport back to the 8 and 25, but also some of this is that normal rush hour volume that we're seeing as well. And then heavy out of Sherwood Island, 18 into 15, and then slowly it's steady, heavy moving traffic in the Darien until you pass 11, and then it just hits the brakes from 11 straight on down the line into Greenwich. This is that late morning traffic that starts to build in towards about exit 5, and there's your Merritt Parkway issues out towards about exit 34. We're coming up on 8:25 now. We'll finish up here with the Hudson Valley and Westchester, shall we? Let's head into Yonkers. Talk to my good friend Hank watching us here in Yonkers. Good morning to you, pal. Cross County Parkway's a mess getting on to basically the just west of the thruway. It's really going to be out by the Sawmill River Parkway. It's kind of coming around there by the golf course is all tied up. Also, your Cross County Parkway both ways. Just west of basically west of the Hutch is going to be a little bit delayed. Then the Hutch kind of normal delays here in both directions. You come up towards 125. Also, New England Thruway actually really looks good. And, for the most part, barring some unforeseen issue, New England Thruway is always probably the preferred choice going north and south through Westchester County. 287 still backed up now from exit 2 to the Thruway on over towards about exit 5, and we'll make our way to Rockland County. The Tappan Zee Bridge, that's a little bit heavy there coming out of the Palisades in 13. But again, there's nothing really out of the ordinary there this morning, so can't really complain terribly. Up towards Brewster, Katona along 22 is going to be a bit slow, and then Orange County is fine. Along 84 and the Thruway all the way up to the Newburgh Beacon Bridge. So again, traffic for the most part is in pretty good shape. So we're coming up at 8:27. Kind of let's fit back into the format. We'll do another quick check here of some of our area temperatures this morning. Let's see if that will refresh. I think it just did, and I don't think the temperatures really changed terribly. So we got 53 at EWR out on the island. We're looking at just on average into the upper 40s, around 50. Another hot spot here, if you want to call it that, at 753 is Somerville at 53, 50 at Teterboro, Trenton, Mercer County coming in at 49. But it's really here is these wind gusts, and you can sort of see it's a breezy morning here, especially out on the island, 25 gusting to 39. So you may see some flight delays coming into MacArthur, potentially in towards LaGuardia, and also over towards Kennedy. And even over towards Newark, and Newark Liberty could experience some delays with some of these, higher wind gusts here this morning. But, check in with your carrier, as they always say here in traffic business. So just before we come up towards 8:30, before we give you the update on our breaking traffic news as we've been following on that Southern State Parkway, we'll check in with the Hudson River crossings, shall we? Again, we're going to work out the format. If you got any comments here, certainly leave them in the comment section, and we'll possibly go ahead and highlight you here on the show. Looking at a solid half hour at the George, about 20 at the Lincoln, still about 25 at the Holland Tunnel. Again, the Staten Island crossings are all going to be in pretty good shape. As we take a look at, let's see where we want to go here now. Coming up towards just about 8:09. We haven't checked in with is the MTA subways, and I apologize for my friends watching in the city here this morning. So let's give you a quick update, see if any issues have arisen. Some delays in the 17, the B, Q, and the R. Express to local, looking at 4 and 5. Let's just see if we can get some more detail. Southbound 1 is delays. EMS assistance there at Times Square 42nd. Let's check in with the 7 train running both with delays out by Hunters Point Avenue in the Bronx, and that's all because service is suspended here actually now address the signal problem. So the last stop, some southbound 7 trains through Woodside and Queensboro Plaza. So some issues there. The BDN, again, BDNQR, both directions, investigated trains, brakes activated, Atlantic Avenue, the Barclays Center. So some delays through Brooklyn there on those lines. And let's check in with the Q line. Yeah, that's all part of that delay as well. So got some issues there on the 17BQR, and trains rerouted here on the D and the N line, again, because of that issue with the trains brakes being activated. So we got 4 people watching. Good morning to you here. This is the Tri-State Traffic Show now at 8:30 on what is a gorgeous Monday morning weather-wise. We've been seeing from some of the cameras, temperatures here into the upper 40s, and the hot spot being Somerville Airport at 53. So now we're up to 5. Let's see if we can go to 10. Can we get 10 viewers? Let's see if we can get that. Got 2,600 followers here on Twitter. Let's see if we can get up to 10. So all right. So now we're here at 8:30. Let's give you the update once again for the Southern State Parkway situation. I'm going to show the video here. So westbound on the Southern State had been closed since about 5 this morning. It only reopened these 2 left lanes just about 15 minutes ago, around 8:15. So we're still seeing some major delays back to exit 17, but it is, again, slowly thinning out here this morning. And I want to say that the investigation potentially is still ongoing, I think, but I think it's more guardrail damage. I think this this concrete barrier and this part of this metal barrier has been damaged here because of this crash. Let's go full screen with that. I'll take myself off the picture, but again, it's here. I know if you can see the pointer. That is going to be some emergency repairs being done. That is potentially could be out there for most of the morning. You know, as we get closer to 9 o'clock, things generally kind of ease out for the most part, you know, except for when they start to set up the midday construction. But again, just giving you the update with the situation out on the island here. As you come up towards the Cross Island Parkway, that westbound side, we've got those 2 left lanes, I should say, that are now going to be back in service. So again, that is some good news. Let's run down the maps here this morning, and we'll see how far back that delay does get. Yeah, we're still holding strong at 17. And then again, it's beginning to ease up here going west out towards Meadowbrook. It was really heavy with a lot of alternate volume there this morning. Hey, we're up to 6 viewers. Let's go for 10. Let's go for 10 in the last half hour. Whoever the 10th viewer is, I feel like the 10th caller, call 911. So we go, don't call 911, please. You don't want to do that. But unless you have a problem, then definitely call 911. But again, we got 6 viewers here. Throw me up a comment here this morning if you can. That'd be great. We'll put them on the air. We have Alexandria and Auntie Anna who have chimed in here this morning. Good morning to you on the Tri-State Traffic Show debut on this Monday morning. So the Wantagh has been picking up a lot of that extra traffic as well, as people were getting up and about, getting up because of the closure. And then the Meadowbrook also started to see a lot of extra traffic as well. Kind of typical delays here on the LIE and the 44 and 135, simply on the northern, getting west of 106 and 107. LIE is heavy 40 all the way out through just about exit 39 or so. And then starting to ease out as you get out through about exit 35. Northern states are really picking up some extra traffic now as well as you come into the curve here at the LIE connector. And some of that is just some of this traffic that is coming off the Meadowbrook where everyone was bailing off the Southern because they're all trying to make their way in towards Queens. Let's see what that issue out by Deer Park Avenue looks like. That is now gone. Still some heavy delays back to the Saginaw Coast Parkway. And you know what? Let's head out all the way out east here, out through Islip, Sunrise Highway. Doesn't look bad. LIE looks in pretty good shape, but we still have issues getting through the Hamptons here this morning as you head east through Shinnecock Hills along Sunrise Highway and then turn to the Montauk Highway as you head through Bridgehampton. Again, there's 1 lane all the way through here. So I think some folks are starting to see the weather starting to change just a bit and maybe heading out east for a nice day out towards the beaches. Probably a little bit too cool to dip your feet into the beaches, but nonetheless heading out through the beautiful Hamptons. Now, Let's go back towards New Jersey, shall we? Again, trying to hold to a bit of a format. It gets a little difficult when we get some breaking news as far as major road closures, but unfortunately, we gotta do those first. So it looks like we still have this crash here on the Parkway, getting south and towards exit 130. Now, friends, it's always a difficult spot coming along that section of the parkway out by Metro Park. So what that is doing, let me see if our camera here at the Colonia rest area is still operational. South is beginning to ease up just a bit. If I had to take a bet here that they may have pushed that accident off to the shoulder, if not cleared at this point, because it's probably because just a few minutes ago that was really just jammed getting out towards Metro Park. Now, also, if you're watching us here in the Clark area, 135, be careful getting on if you're heading out towards Metro Park this morning. You either maybe want to wait, maybe take a little bit later train, or just give yourself that extra time here this morning to get yourself out through the Clark area again through the no exit zone through Colonia. And once you get on at 135, you got nowhere to go until you get out to exit 132 in Island and Edison. Speaking of the trains, we'll do a quick check of that before we go back to the maps here this morning. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but we're kind of figuring this out. Maybe if you leave a comment here in the chat room or the comment section, I should say, YouTube or Twitter. I can see that it looks like all of our viewers this morning are on YouTube, but even in the replays, certainly leave a comment as well, what you'd like to see, where you'd like to see things start, what have you. If you like the maps and a little bit of feedback, that would be awesome. If friends, you could do that. So the transit, NJ Transit is going to be looking good. Let's come back to the area of 22. Now that's a problem as well this morning, and that is because of the broken down tractor trailer. So first, let's show you again. This is where that issue in question had been. I think that's now gone. So that's going to ease out here shortly. But it's this Route 22 issue with now looks like we have a second accident potentially just before Broad Street. And friends, sometimes that happens when you have traffic coming to a complete halt. Dare I say, how many of us know we see so many people on phones when traffic begins to slow up and somebody the gas, whatever, who knows? But now we got an issue by Broad Street, looks like, but it says broken down tractor trailer heading east of Broad Street is the problem. So what the problem is that if you normally use 22 getting out to Newark Liberty, because it really is the freeway, you don't have to pay the toll on 78, that's going to be a problem. If you're heading out for a flight, stay with 78. I know it's a little bit heavy here, but at least it's moving. We don't have any issues as far as potentially closing up the roadway on 22 because of that broken down tractor trailer, I should say. But nonetheless, give yourself probably another 15 or 20 minutes. Excuse me, I had to go for a little bit of water. So let's see what else we've got here in the Great Garden State. 78 West, getting west of the Parkway through Vauxhall and Union is busy. North on the Parkway is heavy 144. On up in the Bloomfield and 148. So is your Turnpike here. We'll go 14 all the way up in towards, we'll say up onto the Eastern Spur this morning is going to be a solid ride here at 839. Further north, 17 doesn't look bad. 21 a little bit busy as you get up in towards the Route 2046 interchange. So it is eastbound 80. It's heavy through Patterson on over towards Elmwood Park and then getting in towards Route 17. And then 17 is just a mess both ways here as you head south of Route 4. Same thing along Route 4. Let me see if I can find that camera along Route 17, I should say. Let's see if we can find that. And hey, we've got 7 viewers. Assume we get to 10. Can we get to 10? That'll make my day for the Tri-State Traffic show, the debut. If we can get to 10 viewers watching, that would be awesome. Whoever the 10th viewer is, not sure who that is. And I'll tell you when we get to 10. You can throw a thing in the comment and let's give you a shout out here this morning. So let's head on over towards that 17 at Route 4. Let's go back to the list of the cameras here. Let me see if I can bring up the actual list. Oh, there we go. There it is. Right in front of me, right under my nose. We don't want that. We want 17. I think that camera is still working. Yeah, let's go here. Let's see where we are. No, I'm sorry. My fault. It's been a while since I've done traffic through this section as well. It's actually the camera on Route 4. It's technically on Route 4. So let's see if we can bring that camera up here. Yeah, that is getting out to the Garden State Plaza Mall. Heavy. I'm going to push that all the way out towards Essex Street in Lodi this morning. Let's bring that camera front and center. There we go. And again, we've got six viewers, Fairway Maiden. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for watching here on this debut of the Tri-State Traffic Show. Great to have you with us here this morning. Let's continue on now. And again, that's kind of just normal stuff. I don't think there's any kind of an issue here. Let me see if this one going east of 17 is showing anything as well. That's going to be Route 4. That's eastbound heading out to the Riverside Square Mall. So that's kind of just typical stuff. A little bit of sun glare working into the picture as well. And then west on 46 is heavy as you get out towards westbound 3 is heavy at the 46 interchange, picking up some more delays here on 80, getting west of 280. Same thing east into Parsippany. That's exiting for 287, beginning to thin it out here in Wharton on 80, heading east and towards Route 15. Then 24 west of, west of the Short Hills Mall. Going to be a slow ride as well. So 287, kind of normal stuff through Edison, through exits 1 and 2, and further down the line for friends down the shore along the Parkway, coming up here on 840. We've got about another 20 minutes left in the show. Parkway is good all the way out of Ocean County, Atlantic County, beautiful Cape May, exit 0. 55, a little busy getting out to the Deptford area, but when is that not an issue? Same thing on 295 heading south in towards 76. The crossings into Philly, actually in pretty good shape. And then 29, we still have a little bit of traffic coming out of the Trenton Tunnel. Let me see if I can find that camera for us, shall we? Let's see what we got. I got to bring this down to Route 29. I thank our friends over at DOT this morning for the use of the cameras here. Again, this is all on their website and certainly available to anybody in the public if you wanted to go ahead and use that for your travel information. That's getting into the Trenton Tunnel, heading away from us, and that doesn't look bad at all. I think it's really coming out of the tunnel is where we're starting to see some delays into Cass Street here this morning. I don't know whether they still call it Arm and Hammer Park for the Trenton Thunder. That's what it used to be. Sure if that's still what it's called. But there it is at Cass Street. Camera's not working. This is closer towards the Route 1 bridge at Warren Street. So again, that's going to be in shape as well. So here at 842, let's spin things back over towards the city. Well, let's go back to Staten Island, shall we? And this is going to be the eastbound side of the expressway is pretty much stacked and packed in towards 440, but that's beginning to ease up here greatly. As you get out towards the Verrazano, westbound is heavy as you come in towards 440 as well. West Shore Expressway also is going to be tied up in both directions here this morning. Just as you head north of the Outer Ridge Crossing, something maybe going here by Arden Avenue. Let's see if we have any issues here. No. Let's go to the DOT cameras, shall we? And if I can bring up that camera. Let's go wrong way. Gotta widen it up. But come on. We've got 6 viewers. We're going for 10. Can we get 10? Can we get 10 viewers by 9 a.m.? That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Let's just check in with that West Shore here. Yeah, that's all because of road work, it looks like. Looks like they're fixing the street light in this section. That's why that West Shore is heavy. So they're already gone out early here. Gone out early for the road work. Now we're up to 7. All right. 3 more. We got 3 more viewers. Can we get 3 more viewers? Or the 10th viewer gets a special shout out. So I'll let you know when we get to 10 as I'm keeping tabs here this morning. Looks like all of our viewers are on YouTube. That's great. You're watching us on Twitter as well. Go ahead and leave a comment there. But again, this is that West Shore Expressway coming up towards about exit 4 or so is kind of tied up with that construction. Well, really utility repairs, as we say here in the traffic business. Anyway, let's go back to the maps and we'll come out of Staten Island, shall we? Staten Island Railway looks in pretty good shape. Verrazano is busy getting right onto the belt, heading east out by Bay Parkway. This Belt Parkway, it cannot seem to catch a break. Now we're getting reports of multiple crashes here this morning along the belt out by the Powdergate Basin Bridge coming off of Mill Basin. So eastbound now is going to be heavy out through Plum Beach into Flatbush, all the way out through the Canarsie Pier and Rockaway Parkway. I wish that camera was working there at Rockaway. Unfortunately, it's not. Let's see if we can go ahead and widen up this map even further this morning as we make our way to Brooklyn. So just check out the scene, shall we? So yeah, let's jump in here. Let's see where we're at Pennsylvania, and that's probably, yeah, that's westbound that's going away from us. So really just tied up there because of something going on, as we say here in the traffic biz, out towards Rockaway Parkway. So we've got the Belt Parkway fairly busy in either direction. Uh, Look at that westbound side. We're back well past the airport. Now, again, we're in the middle of the rush hour traffic as well. So that's, that's certainly not helping matters out greatly here this morning. We'll leave it on that map. I'm going to take a very quick break. So I want to grab some water. I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so we are back here this morning as I put the water bottle down. Don't drop it on my foot. So, anyway, hopefully everyone had a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day, belated Mother's Day. It's all our moms in the audience. They had a great day yesterday. Let's continue on now. The Van Wyck Expressway is still a mess in both directions. What was that Seinfeld episode? You can't beat the Van Wyck. Or they say the Van Wyck. I call the Van Wyck, and I don't know, old school. You want to get into that? We'll get into it. Put it in the comments for my friends out in Queens. Good friend who grew up out towards the Rockaways and Ozone Parks. He says Van Wyck. Says Van Wyck, I should say, but either way, we know what the roadway is, and that's going to be a mess in either direction from the Grand Central out towards the Belt. Grand Central's all tied up here from the Clearview into the interchange. Looks like the Jackie Robinson's beginning to ease up just a bit. So now what's happening is that the Cross Island Parkway is now getting a lot heavier because of now traffic beginning to flow through what was formerly closed on the southern onto the Cross Island out to Hempstead Turnpike, and it's busy all the way up the line into the Grand Central. South on the Cross Island is a mess coming off of the Throgs Neck as you approach in towards basically Hillside Avenue out to the LIE. LIE going east now looks like it's worse than going west from Casino Boulevard all the way in towards the Long Island border. As we head both ways here, out by Woodhaven Boulevard is heavy. Also, that BQE is just stacked and packed. No matter, they could have made that Kosciuszko Bridge like 20 lanes, and I don't think it would have helped. Looks like, it's great what they did. It's 1,000 times better than what it used to be. But, there's just so much traffic. You got nowhere to go. So we're going to go Queens Boulevard all the way down in towards basically the Brooklyn Bridge. I mean, it is just jammed, packed here this morning as you come out through Flushing Avenue. Williamsburg Bridge, about 10 minutes there. Brooklyn Bridge actually looks good. The Hugh Carey Battery Tunnel, we're going to put that on to about the 15-minute mark or so. Inbound Gowanus is a solid ride through Industry City. Straight off the Verrazano out to the Bell Parkway split merge up towards the top of the world into the Prospect. And then further up the line here this morning, looks like the Midtown Tunnel is probably running about 25 minutes. Queensboro Bridge will put that at about 10. RFK Triborough is going to be heavy on over towards the Bronx coming off the Grand Central. But looks like we may have an issue there as well. Just come up towards Randall's Island. And then a solid ride here on the Deegan getting south all the way out towards the RFK Triborough. Let's see if we can bring up the map of the Bronx, and let's just see what we got here this morning. This is where, we get so much all going on at the same time, friends, and it just that's why this is one of the busiest traffic places in the country. We'll go here onto the Deegan. Yeah, that's heading south out to 138th Street. So yeah, that's definitely a mess if you're traveling to that section of the Bronx. But at times, when is that not a mess as far as traffic is concerned? And look at that, just south is coming towards us, just all loaded up. And that's because the Deegan goes from like 3, 4 lanes in one spot up towards the Cross Bronx to two. I mean, unfortunately, there's really you know, nowhere to really expand it here this morning. So that's south here at Willis coming towards us, trying to get yourself on to the RFK Triborough and the Bruckner. Let's see what we got here. That's the 135th. That's they shooting that here now. So I think that's getting on to the RFK Triborough. So again, just a lot of heavy traffic throughout the city. When is it not really? I mean, just not too many times you can say that. Cross Bronx will go end to end about a half an hour plus. So it looks like we may have an accident here on the lower roadway of the George this morning. I'm going to put that about the half hour mark. And it looks like we have more delays on the Whitestone Expressway into the Cross Island. And so is a crash being reported now onto the Bruckner as you come up towards the Hutch. So that's going to be a little bit tied up as well. So we're coming up on 8:50 now. Good morning to you. We got about 10 minutes left in this first broadcast of the Tri-State Traffic Show. We thank our friends here for watching this morning. Alexandria M, always a huge supporter of myself and the Tri-State Traffic Show. She was our first comment, so we thank her very much. Watching from East Rutherford. We've also got Auntie Anna from Homedale and Fairway Maiden. If you can maybe chime in there where you're watching us from, but we thank you for the comments. And again, if you have any comments, some feedback as far as what you like to see, where you like things to start, if you like the cameras, the maps, so forth, certainly go ahead and let me know. And also want to thank our friend Ralph over at the Cranford Vanilla Bean Creamery for the sponsorship of the Tri-State Traffic Show. And we'll do a full sponsorship just before we leave the airwaves here a little before 9 o'clock. So now at 8:52, let's check back in with the Hudson Valley in Connecticut, shall we? We still see a lot of traffic here along the shoreline as we head south of Sherwood Island, 18 down through pretty much so almost all the way down the line. We'll go 18 down through, I'm going to put it to about exit 4 or so. And the Barra Parkway is heavy, passing Route 7, all the way out towards about exit 34. And then still a lot of volume coming south on the 8 and 25 in the Bridgeport area as we head out towards the 95 interchange. The 95 still stacked and packed south of about exit 27 on over towards, I'll say just about exit 22. And the Merritt, pretty tough ride here through the Trumbull area through about exit 50. Out towards about exit 49. But again, that's kind of just typical for the later half of the morning rush hour. A lot of our friends were just kind of, hanging out, waiting for maybe some of the earlier traffic to build. But again, this is kind of the normal thing for the area of Connecticut. So we go towards the Westchester, Hudson Valley region. East on 287 is heavy out of Elmsford. That's a solid ride. We're back up to 7. Can we get to 10 viewers here? Can we get to 10 viewers by 9 o'clock? We've got about 8 minutes left in the broadcast. Let's see if we can do that. West on the Cross County is heavy into the Sawmill this morning. The Cuomo Tappan Zee Bridge, maybe 5-6 minutes or so coming out of Rockland, but Rockland County is eased up really nicely here from the Parkway connector out to the Palisades, and then the thruway, you're fine all through Orange this morning up to Dutchess County, up to the Newbury Beacon Bridge and 84. All is clear there out by Stewart Airport if you're heading out of town today. 684 through Brewster, Golden's Bridge is good, even in Peekskill for Metal Mike watching us there in the Peekskill area. Good morning to you. So for the most part, kind of normal stuff throughout Hudson Valley and Connecticut. Let's give you a quick transit check, shall we? Let's run down the MTA lines first. We'll start it off with delays on the 4, 5, 7, the B, D, L, N. Again, L, N, Q, and R trains. We got some planned construction, it looks like, or, well, really, yeah, that's probably some midday repairs being done on the F train. Let's check in with the rails. We've still got some delays, it looks like, on the New Haven line, and that's going to be some signal issues out of Stamford in towards Grand Central as the inbound side. So just kind of keep that in mind. For our friends there coming out of Pascagoula Valley, we've got some substitute buses. They're replacing trains, Spring Valley and Secaucus Junction, and that's going to be from right now till about 3 o'clock until late June. So we have about another, what is this? A ninth, probably another 6 weeks or so with that. So again, leave some extra time there to get to Secaucus. So transit for the most part looks pretty good. Head over towards New Jersey Transit this morning. We'll check out the scene as we got about 5 minutes left in the big debut broadcast of the Tri-State Traffic Show. So we got the Corridor Coastline with some modified schedules here today, and that's, well, we got a canceled train out of Penn. Let's check out with the coastline. Yeah, some temporary schedule adjustments for some track work. So we're going to close up transit here this morning for the morning rush hour. Let's go back to the bridges and tunnels. We'll check out the ride here getting into the city for my friends here in Jersey. Let's see what the ride looks like at the George. And I don't know where the travel time went. Crossing time data, or I think we're still loading. There we go. What do we got? About an average about 25 or so at the George, about 20 at the Lincoln, about 25 at the Holland. So again, wrapping up the morning rush hour here at 8:56, and we'll get to Ralph in just a moment. I want to go back towards New Jersey. Let's just check in and see what else we've got going on here. Well, the reason why the George is like a half an hour is because this broken down vehicle on the technically the Trans-Manhattan Expressway underneath the apartments. And we got 6 viewers. Can we get to 10 in less than 4 minutes? I'm not sure if we can, but we're optimistic, right? That's why the George Washington Bridge is going to be just a little bit heavy for that lower roadway. So we've got, let's see what we got. Southbound 9. Let's see what that scene looks like. Let's see if that camera is working. We'll do this. That's 5. That's more 195 than it is Route 9. Here it is at Aldrich. I don't think that camera's working, but we shall see. Yeah, that's pretty good. Must be just south of 195 before you come up towards Aldrich. So that's where we're seeing a crash there. 46, we've got, well, both directions east of 15. Got a situation there with a water main break, and that's in both ways. That's by that Chevy car dealership. Gosh, I always forget that. I always used to like to head out there and look at the inventory that they have, and unfortunately inventory is really not not too good these days, but it'll get better. So here it is. This is going to be Nielsen Chevrolet. That's it. It's going to be right here on the corner. There we go. Memory is still working with us, right? It's a Monday morning, so looks like they're saying it's shut down here, but I'm thinking maybe it's just in this stretch here as you get out towards Route 15. Let's watch for that water main break. Could be out there for some time. We're back up to 7 viewers now, so that's good. We haven't lost it, and it's been sustained 7 viewers here for quite some time. Eastbound 80, a little heavy into the Denville area. I want to check up on that Parkway issue here in Middlesex County, south on the Route 1. Yeah, looks like that's easing out because that crash is now gone. Looks like 22 is beginning to thin out a bit as well because of that broken down tractor trailer that's still there. No, they're still saying it's there. It's still on the active list. So that's heading east if you're heading out to EWR this morning. Hey, we're up to 8. I'm going to hang on here and see if we can get to 10. Now we're back down to 7. Oh, boy. It's almost like the Kentucky Derby, right? Was that some Derby or what? I mean, it is unbelievable. An 80-1 long shot gets into the Derby because of another horse as it gets scratched. And, I mean, just tremendous numbers as far as payouts were concerned. I actually was thinking that the payout would have been maybe a little bit more than what the $160 or whatever it was for the win. But some of the exacta, trifecta, like $4,000 for an exacta. The $2 trifecta was like, or a dollar trifecta, whatever they call it, was like 7,500. That superfecta was six figures, and I think that if you pick the top five, I mean, at the point, it's almost like picking lottery numbers for some. It was like almost $750,000. It was like $750,000. Crazy stuff, right? But yeah, fun race. Fun to see everybody in the hats. I've got maybe my Kentucky Derby jacket on here this morning for the debut of the Tri-State Traffic Show. So we're up to 7 viewers again. Again, if you are hanging in with us here, thank you very much for watching. And thank you, Alexandria, for being the first comment and always a loyal supporter. Thank you very much. Fair we made in. We've also have Auntie Anna. If you have a comment, again, please like, subscribe, do that whole deal. Certainly feedback is welcomed. Certainly welcome any feedback that you can go ahead and leave in the comments here for me. So we are going to wrap up things with a quick check of our temperatures, and we're going to try to maybe get some weather involved here and working on some things in the background. So hopefully we'll be able to get some other than the temperatures, maybe get some forecasting for you as well. But we're up to 55 here at EWR, LaGuardia at 54, 53 at Kennedy. 56 in Somerville, so starting to warm up relatively nicely there. Against a little breezy, as you can see, the wind out of the north and northeast here at 18 to 22, and Farmingdale gusting to 32. So traveling this morning could be maybe a little bit difficult. I mean, the airports have this pretty much down, but you may see some delays, some wind delays. We'll put it at for some of our local airports. There we go. We got 10. Who's the 10th? Just came in. Whoever that last person was. Somebody type a comment in. We'll make you the 10th viewer here at 9:01. We're going to hang in here. Maybe we can get to 12. Can we get to 12? That'd be awesome. Definitely leave a comment. We'll put you up here this morning. So, again, temperatures in towards the mid now to low 50s. So that's good news. Hopefully get a nice warm day. Back down to 9. See, this is the thing in real time here as I'm watching this kind of go across the board. So we'll do one final sweep of the area before we leave you this morning. We'll go back to New Jersey. Now we got an issue on the Parkway south of the Colonia Rest area. We were just there literally just moments ago with the issue at Route 1. Let's see if we can pick up that. I don't see anything there. Let's see the other Colonia camera. That seems to be fine. So whatever it is, I would imagine it's probably off to the shoulder. So let's take a look at 46, the other big issue there in New Jersey. Let's head over towards the city. We've got a broken down vehicle. This is on the this is going to be on the thruway, or the Northway, really. Out by exit 10. That's way up there. Let's see. We got broken down car on the RFK Triborough. That's going to be hitting into the Bronx. That Southern State, again, we still have the two right lanes shut coming into Central Ave and 13. So that is still going to be an issue. Now it looks like we have a crash on the Northern State in towards New Hyde Park Road. Let's check in with my friends in Connecticut this morning. Let's just see what the deal is here very quickly. So we're coming up on 9:02, a couple minutes past 9 o'clock. Sort of see that midday road work now going out. We still have delays on 95, 29, 20. We'll put it pretty much 29 through 5. And then heavier 18 through 5. And we'll make our way towards the Merritt Parkway. Let's see what we got there. We'll go 41, 34. And then also some delays in Stratford, 52 to 46. But really nothing out of the ordinary for this time of the morning. So with that said, I think we are going to wrap up the big broadcast here this morning, the debut broadcast. And I want to just give one last and final mention of our sponsor of the Tri-State Traffic Show, and that will be the Cranford Vanilla Bean Creamery, located at 22 North Avenue West in beautiful downtown Cranford in the heart of Union County, right off the historic Rockland Valley line. His phone number is 908-272-3000. You see it at the bottom. Head to his website, CranfordVanillaBeanCreamery.com, for more information. Now, Ralph does an amazing job. He's been a very good friend of mine for well over 10 years plus. He's in his 13th season. We're both big sports fans, so we kind of talk about in terms of seasons. So he is now getting ready. This is basically, let's say, the first part of his baseball season, coming out of spring training, getting out towards the warmer weather, which hopefully we will start to see towards the end of this week. It looks like potentially. Ralph makes some of the best ice cream in the tri-state area, folks. If you're in New Jersey, have to be passing by, get off the Garden State Parkway at exit 137. And come on down North Avenue. He's right there in the heart of downtown Cranford. Makes some amazing flavors. We'll kind of run down some of the flavors for you. Obviously, vanilla bean is his specialty. Chocolate Bananas Foster was a 2011 first place winner in the Toms River Ice Cream Festival. Triple strawberry. My favorite is the party cake. Just awesome ice cream. And from time to time, he makes some special flavors. So you want to check in with him if you can, and see what some of the newer flavors are for the season. Also, he makes some awesome sundaes, shakes. He's got the Dole Whip, if you're familiar with that. When I was in Hawaii, the Dole Whip was, it's just unbelievable how delicious that is. Ralph has brought a little taste of the islands here to the tri-state area. He has pineapple and I believe raspberry as well. Very light, refreshing for a warm day. He also has some sugar-free ice creams. He also makes some sorbets, really good stuff. Just delicious. I think he has raspberry, and he also had lemon. So again, some really refreshing stuff. Also makes some awesome ice cream cakes. If you're looking for some of the best ice cream cakes in this area, head on over towards the Cranford Vanilla Bean Creamery. Again, 22 North Avenue West in beautiful downtown Cranford in Union County. His cakes are custom made. You can make them to order, whatever you want to use. The hard ice cream, he can certainly do that. Pretty much any of those ice cream flavors he can put into a cake. So again, give Ralph a call, 908-272-3000. Tell him I sent you. And we appreciate Ralph and all the great staff at the Cranford Vanilla Bean Creamery for being our first sponsor of the Tri-State Traffic Show. So that's going to wrap up things here in the traffic center this morning. This is O'Don coming to you once again with Tri-State Traffic Show. We're going to be with you live Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. May even do a little bit of afternoon traffic, getting into some of the bigger holiday weekends like the Memorial Day holiday weekend coming up in about 2.5 weeks or so. But again, we'll be here live with you Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. If you can, like, subscribe, do all that social media stuff on Twitter. Certainly leave some comments as well. We're also going to put your comments up during the morning rush hour. And again, I want to show a quick thanks to Alexandria, as well as Auntie Anna in Homedale and Fairway Maiden. Not quite sure where they're from, but nonetheless, go ahead and leave a comment there. We may do some personalized traffic for you as well. Let me know where you're coming from or going to, or where you're headed out, or maybe a little bit later on. Maybe you're going to head to the airport and what have you, heading out of town, catching a flight. Certainly leave some comments. And again, all feedback certainly welcome. Leave the comments in the section on YouTube, as well as can put them on Twitter as well. So I think we're going to wrap things up here this morning. This is O'Don coming to you from the Traffic Center. We thank you very, very much for joining us. And we'll, as Emeril Lagasse said, or used to say on the Emeril Live, see you tomorrow, folks.